Good morning, cultists! Welcome to Dessert Time with CthuLoops. So, we just finished our Qarmatian Uprising campaign, and I gotta say, I really enjoyed it. Prior to this campaign, the last time I played as an Islamic ruler was in the Ballad of the Gothic Muslim, which was over 2 years ago, if you can believe that. So it was actually very refreshing getting back into being Muslim. Not that there are huge differences between the Ikta and feudal systems, but there are some definite advantages. Besides the open succession law, which is definitely one of the better succession laws, I have the advantage of revoking duchy titles without incurring tyranny, like in Chinese imperialism, and I also get to retract vassals at a whim. I don't think I made use of those rights very often in this campaign, but they were godsends when needed. Now, regarding Qarmatianism, I really like this branch of Islam. I don't know if you've noticed, but my playstyle tends to focus a lot on war, so the warlike nature of Qarmatianism worked really well with me. I missed out on some stuff like going on the Hajj and religious taxes, but I think it balances out quite well. Now that being said, I wouldn't mind doing another Islamic campaign as one of the more regular branches of Islam. I think I ended up being Yazidi in the Ballad of the Gothic Muslim, I'm actually not sure, which is relatively standard, but they get the bonus of being able to excommunicate people, which is pretty cool. So I think that could be pretty fun to try again. In any case, before we delve into our family history, let's take a look at the rest of the world. So in India, it's actually split between three major factions, quote unquote. We've got Rajasthan, which is owned by my dynasty, and then we have Rashtrakuta. Sorry, I always pronounce this as Rashtrakuta, but no, it's Rashtrakuta. Doesn't roll off the tongue as well. So that's this guy, and this is his tributary state. And then we have the Seti. That's this guy and his tributary states of Pala and Bengal, I think. Wait, no, sorry, Bengal is actually independent. Right, and up in Tibet, we have the Western Protectorate and the Sharo. This, I think, spawned from one of the Shia uprisings. I think this may have been the most successful Shia uprising I've ever seen. Maybe. At least it's up there, definitely. And then farther up north in the Steppes region, we have the Naiman and Oshani, and some of the other dudes who have been made into little bitches by the Western Protectorate. And Eastern Europe is Eastern Europe. It's a bit of a mess. Thankfully, there are kind of bigger factions like Ruthenia and Novgorod and Vladimir. So they're kind of getting there, but still have a lot of work to do. And it seems that Scandinavia has had its butthole torn asunder thanks to yours truly. There's us, and then there's Norway, and then there's little bits of Qarmatianism sticking out here and there, which is pretty interesting. I do wonder how well they would fare if I let the AI just kind of do its thing. But yeah. And then the British Isles. It seems that England is actually doing quite decently. Yeah, following that are the Welsh and the Scottish at the very north with a few counties. And what remains of the Irish factions, I guess, is this guy. Poor dude, all by himself. That's fine. He can use his massive-ass cheekbones to beat off his adversaries. And then we have Frisia here. Again, little bits and pieces of Qarmatianism just sticking out everywhere. So in Western Europe, we have a little bit of Germany, France, and Arles? I don't know. Arles? Arles. You know what? We'll just say Arles. Just go with the most North American pronunciation ever. So yeah, we have these three guys who are, I guess, I don't know if they're duking it out. I don't think they're at odds with each other. No, this guy's Wealth and Von Rees. Interesting. Okay, so I know France was doing quite well earlier on in the campaign, but they had their buttholes torn asunder by the Umayyads, and I think for a time there was the Aquitaine, who got swallowed up by the Umayyads again. I don't quite remember. And then of course there's Italy, just sweating profusely, worrying when I might invade them or do a jihad against them. But for now, you're safe. And forever will be, I guess, since this is the end of the campaign. And speaking of the Umayyads, they've actually been torn asunder as well. So I think Ghana became independent because of the exclave rules. Yeah. Oh no, Maghreb, what happened to you? Things are just not going your way, are they? Oh my god, they all died of a plague. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I think the Maghrebi revolt is gonna win. Yeah. What I'm really sad about, though, is the fact that the African religion never got properly reformed. I was really hopeful. For a while there, the Mali were really powerful, at least relatively speaking. They were really powerful and they had the majority of the territory here. And then I think, for some reason, instead of reforming their faith, which was definitely possible considering that they had all their, at least 3 of the holy sites, if not the 4th one, they just kind of asked the Umlayats to convert to Sunnism, which I thought was pretty dumb. I really wish the AI wouldn't do that and would prioritize reforming their pagan religion before, you know, resorting to asking for mass conversion or whatever, but so be it. It is what it is. Maybe in the future we'll see the AI finally reform, the African religion. So far, I think I've only ever seen the Norse religion or the Germanic religion consistently get reformed. Everything else, I think I may have seen the Slavic religion get reformed once. I don't know if I've seen any other pagan religion get reformed by the AI. I don't recall. I mean, it would definitely stick out in my mind if it did happen, but I don't think it has. So, yeah, that's pretty much the rest of the world. You know what's happened in our own empire, because, you know, that's been the focus of our campaign. So let's delve into the family history. We are currently Khalifa Hanifa, who is 48 years old, but let's start at the very top. And we have... Who the fuck is this guy? I guess he's just an ancestor. You know what? We're not gonna start at the top. We're not even gonna start at the below the top, because this guy was before the game started, or the campaign started. Yeah, he's the one that started the Qarmatian bloodline, right? Yeah, gotcha. Wait. Oh, so this guy was Shia. And this guy... interesting. Interesting. Didn't realize that. Okay, so we started the campaign as Abu Tahir, who actually became Caliph pretty early on. And I think that's thanks in part to the... or mostly thanks to the blood of Said, which gave us the option to form the Caliphate like very early on, which is pretty damn cool, and it gave us a lot of power. So Abu Tahir had a brother who thankfully died off pretty early on, and I believe... Wait, did I send his daughter to China, or did Abul Qasim send his daughter to China? I don't actually remember. So I guess Taliba actually had a couple of bastard children. I don't know who their father was. So, right, Zayd ibn Talib was Hanifa's father. But what about Talib himself? No idea. And what about their dynasties? Nothing there. What about with him? Nothing there either. Wow, okay, I guess they tried their best. Nope, this family is not alive. And that family... Wow, okay, I guess so these guys could actually trace their lineage back to us. Unacceptable. We don't want that. We don't want to be associated with trash. Oh well. Okay, so back to Abu Tahir. He had a lot of children. Yeah, I mean, then again, whenever I play, I tend to have a lot of children, so... Yeah, Abu Tahir had a lot of children. Rashana was the first, followed by Pluten, who was actually a pretty decent ruler, considering that he's not genius. And then we had another Pluten, whom we sent to China, hence the missing testicles. And then the third Pluten, actually, I think we may have invoked Takfir against him, and I imprisoned him because I didn't want him to be a problem for our future ruler. Samia I also sent to China, but not before she had a child of her own, Coward, who died sad and alone. Zainab, Suzanne the Ill-Tempered. I think I kind of remember Suzanne. Maybe not, I don't know. And then we had Pluten, another Pluten, who became batshit crazy. All these guys died in our dungeons. And then we had the final genius Pluten, who was quite accomplished. I think, yeah, he was our first emperor, so he was, oh my god, yeah, this is Pluten. This is the Pluten who got crowned by Pope Gregorius V himself. Holy shit. Okay, now, don't take this as me like tooting my own horn or like stroking my own ego or my phallus or whatever. But I think one thing that we've been able to do consistently well in this campaign is maximize each ruler's potential. I don't think I've ever had any other campaign where each ruler accomplished so many things by them, like, you know, in their lifetime. And it's not that they really live for very long spans of time either, because Abu Tahir lived, well, I guess maybe a little bit longer than the average, but Abu Tahir lived till he was 77, Pluten lived till he was 76, which is kind of on the lower end of the spectrum for the rulers that I've had. But he was the one who founded the Qarmatian Empire after he brilliantly bamboozled the Pope into making him think that he was a true Catholic. I don't think I will ever top that accomplishment. This is pretty awesome how he got, you know what, that's enough. But yeah, we formed the Qarmatian Empire, including Jerusalem and all that such, which was pretty damn cool. And that's all in thanks to Pluten. And beyond that, Sagar, Mansour, I don't remember any of these guys, because I guess they were kind of not that important after Pluten. So, after Pluten, I believe he took on many wives, as I believe all of my rulers have. Wait, how many wives did each of these guys have? So, Abu Tahir had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wives. Pluten had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 wives. Fantastic. So, with his 10 wives, he's had how many? 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 kids. Yeah. Wait, how many did Abu Tahir have then? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Really? So each of them had 14 each. Nice. So, I think, was it with Pluten or was it with Maxwell that we got the Prodigious 5 achievement? I think with Pluten we got close. I think someone ended up dying or got sent to China prematurely. Because I do remember Tanin being educated in the religious studies and whatnot. So just zipping by all these ladies. So we've had a few genius children with Pluten. Not as many as Maxwell though, I think. And of course Maxwell was our first genius son. And yeah, he ended up taking the throne because everyone else was either, I don't know. Oh, I guess she got assassinated. Hanifa. Interesting. But yeah, I think everyone else ended up being kind of assholey, or their stats weren't as good. Yeah, I think it was more their stats more than their asshole-like nature. I could be wrong, but I think that's what it is. So, Layla actually had a child with a Chinese dude, I think? Khitan dude, rather. Mopei Shankai. I think this was to get the peace agreement with China, just in case they got their hungry eyes on us, what with them being all expansionist and whatnot. But this branch kind of died off pretty quickly, unfortunately, but that's fine. So, now we move on to Maxwell. Was it Maxwell? I think Maxwell may have been the first one to actually call a jihad Yeah, yeah, and he's the one that got the Prodigious 5 achievement for us. So, I'll be honest with you, I don't quite remember the order in which we started expanding, so I'm not really gonna go over who took what piece of tract of land or whatever, etc., etc., but more so just reminisce about these dudes. So Maxwell, I think, got the Prodigious 5 achievement. Let me just check. So we got the Diplomat, the Scholar, the Steward, the General, and I believe we're looking for, yeah, the Spy. So yeah, I think it was Maxwell that got the Prodigious 5 achievement for us, something that I've been striving for quite some time. Beyond that, he was definitely one of my better rulers in that he had like amazing stats as well as amazing traits for like the longest time ever. Everyone else, mixed bag, I guess. But I think, yeah, Maxwell kind of lost wait, did he? He had ambitious for a while, and I think he just kind of lost it at some point or another. I don't quite remember when. So Maxwell had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So yeah, Maxwell had the most children out of all of our rulers so far. Which was kind of interesting because he ended up having a slow child with his genius wife. I don't know how that happened. And then a lot of these dudes just kind of like stuffed into our prisons because, you know, as a Muslim ruler, you kind of need to do that. So we had Armchair, our first genius son as Maxwell, and Grayscale, both twins, both geniuses, which was pretty damn fucking lucky. And I think Maxwell had the most genius children. He just kept pumping them out. It was pretty insane. And this is where we started the whole bear culture thing with War Joker and Shamim, which unfortunately kind of died off pretty quickly because I decided to do away with War Joker. He was starting to become a bit of a disappointment, I'm not gonna lie. And then we ended up with Hanifa, I don't even remember where she came from, but I remember, I think she was just one of those like, oh, just a genius daughter, whatever. And then she ended up turning to be quite fantastic, so we decided to go with her instead of War Joker, who had gone batshit crazy and all that such. Besides, her stats were much better, I think. But yeah, so with Shamim, one of our daughters, we had her marry Michael Balgarsko, who I thought was related to us in some way, no? Well, we had him. Oh no! He seduced Shamim. Yeah, and together they produced a lot of bastard children, who I guess are still technically bastards, considering that they were conceived out of wedlock. But yeah, they ended up just marrying the two instead because they were, you know, lovers and all that such. So I believe Michael had the blood of Attila, which I really wanted, but ended up never fusing into my own dynasty. But yeah, we started the whole reign of bears with these guys too, and I think that kind of died off, didn't it? She's still a bear. Wow. Shamim Carnivora. Okay. Yes, I remember Ursine Carnivora. She was definitely one of my more accomplished generals. Yeah, I remember that now. It's kind of a shame that the bear branch never really took off, but there's always future campaigns, right? So Smokey was married to Ursula, which is kind of funny. So I married my nephew and my niece together. Nice. But anyways, back to this branch. So Goldie, from the famous Goldilocks story, I thought would be a good idea to put her onto the throne of Maghreb, but I think she actually had a rebellion pretty early on in her rule. The AI just seems, I don't know, I feel like the AI just takes unnecessary risks when it comes to invoking tyranny. Like, when I invoke tyranny, I just make sure that, or like, if I try to revoke a title from someone, I try to do it through legitimate means so that I don't piss off other vassals. Which is why I don't like to banish people who own land. Besides, I think if you banish people who, vassals who own land, I think what happens is not only do you incur tyranny from other people, I think, but you also don't get their land or their money if they have an heir. So if they have a child, or like a son or a daughter who's able to inherit, then the money doesn't come to you, as far as I'm aware. And I don't think you get the land either. They basically just abdicate and bugger off. So I don't know if that's a way to get money through banishments. But anyways, so Goldie foolishly didn't shut the gates fast enough, or she was maybe leading troops. I mean, I guess if she was leading troops, she couldn't shut the gates anyways. But yeah, she didn't last very long, and unfortunately, Coda, the son who took over, didn't last very, very long either. Gerger... Oh, right. She had a bastard child with Yaya of Canarius, who also died of the plague. And then we had Fluffy. Thankfully, they were all bears, and they all had our prestigious dynasty, even though they were considered bastards. Kind of weird. I mean, I guess technically he is a bastard. So wait, if he has children, then I guess his children would not be of our dynasty, right? Because he was never legitimized? I'm actually not sure. But anyways, moving on from Goldie, we have Ursula. Ursula was our kind of backup ruler for in case Hanifa didn't work out. And she would have made an absolutely fantastic ruler for sure, being of the old sturdy stock and whatnot. And she had some amazing traits. She was an organizer, etc., etc. The stars lined up. And then when I installed her as the ruler of Rajasthan and made her independent, she stupidly converted to the local culture, which again makes no sense whatsoever from anyone's perspective. Maybe it was to, like, I don't know, maybe the AI does it so that they don't get the the revolt risk from their rulers being of a different religion group or cultural group, etc., etc. But I'm pretty sure that doesn't make a difference, because all these cultures are still Hindustani, and we should see a peasant unrest revolt risk. But that's from that, which is a different thing. And the revolt risk, I'm pretty sure, is see, a different culture group. So maybe that's why they decided to change it. But it just makes no sense that they would go Hindustani and not Bedouin, considering that all of their vassals are Bedouin. Why not convert to the culture of your vassals rather than the local culture, which is nothing to do with our own culture group? I don't know. I don't get it, but it pisses me off when I see it, because I set up these elaborate things and then the AI just fucking does away with it because they're stupid as shit. I don't know. Anyways, back to our dynasty. So yeah, Ursula proved to be a giant disappointment. And they're both now Hindustani, so there's no chance in hell that they'll ever become a bear again. Unless, through some miracle, they end up, you know, having a bear educate their children, which I really doubt is gonna happen, but yeah. He's not even considered like a close member of my dynasty either. He's just straight up considered a kinsman, but I guess he's the child of my niece, so yeah, that's fine. So, I mean, if anything, the rulership should have gone to Cindy here, because she's a genius. But no, she's just out adventuring now. Oh, maybe that's what's happening here. She's got the blood of Attila. Ah, clever girl. The adventurer trait is absolutely amazing. I want this for all of my characters. There's like almost no downside besides the diplomacy and the fact that, you know, when you're a mercenary, there's a chance of death. But anyways, pretty awesome trait, which is why I always try to go for the blood of Attila. I wish there were more bloodlines that can do this, or even bloodlines in the warrior lodges that provide this bonus, but unfortunately I've yet to see that. So, besides War Joker, having had his chance in the spotlight being taken out from underneath him at the last second, Uwais, I've married to this lady because she's also got the blood of Attila and the blood of Arpad, which would have been cool, but that's fine. Thankfully, they did have a child together, and she's got all of her bloodlines mixed in together, which is pretty fantastic. Oh yeah, Maxwell also founded the Immortal Blood of Alexander, which was pretty cool. I mean, besides the passive bonuses, I think I may have used the bloodline invasion thing maybe once or twice, if that. It's pretty powerful, but the fact that Muslims get access to the invasion CB is, I guess, kind of like takes away from that. But what I didn't realize at the time was the invasion CB that you get from the bloodline uses prestige as opposed to piety, and 1000 piety is relatively difficult to get, whereas 500 prestige is just fucking chump change because you inherit your prestige and stuff from your predecessor and whatnot. But anyways, we are now Hanifa, who is 48 years old, and as a female ruler, didn't get to have as many children as my predecessors, but she still did really well, I would say. She's had, well, 2 genius children, but she did end up with War Joker the Bear. Oh shoot, I think crap. I may have forgotten to, you know what, it's fine. I mean, I'm sure if you focus on heritage, if we're a little lucky, then we should be able to get War Joker be educated in the bear culture and be our first proper bear heir, but whatever, it's fine. So, War Joker herself had a child with whom? I don't quite remember. I think it was another bear. It has to be, because she doesn't have the bear genetics, even though she's got the bear culture. She had a child with a bear, and together they made Bjorn Barca. The little bear cub portraits are so cute. They're so fucking fuzzy and fluffy. Oh my god. Anyways, War Joker was our intended heir. Why does it look like she has a massive cone head? Like she's a fucking alien or something. But anyways, until of course the other War Joker came along, who I think will turn out to be even better. Stupid husband Abdul Wahab thinks that this is actually his child too. So War Joker here isn't even considered to be a bastard, despite the fact that she looks nothing like either parent. Imagine being the husband, Abdul Wahab, and a bear, a little bear cub, explodes out of your wife's vagina, and you're like, oh man, this is definitely my daughter. Yeah, definitely. There's no mistaking it. She's got my eyes. She's got my hand. She's got my face. I mean, definitely my daughter. Definitely, definitely. Abdul Wahab, what is wrong with you? With your learning of 25, you should know better. Or maybe he was just in doubt or something. Or maybe, what's more likely is that he was at the back of the line when brains were being handed out. I don't know. In any case, Shaban, we got married to Bagheera, because she's got the genius trait, and I was kind of hoping that they could produce some more genius children. Because as a female ruler, you're not going to have as many children as a male ruler with concubines and extra wives or lovers, etc., etc. So it's helpful to have your children make children of their own in case something doesn't quite work out for succession, and you can somehow, like, you know, skip over your child inheriting, etc., etc. So that's another way of, like, managing inheritance. But anyways, Azam, I think we just invoked Takfir against him, and Buttface, not notable. Parand, not notable. Mari is our bastard child that we had with Sugar. And so is War Joker, unbeknownst to Abdul Wahab. But yeah. You know what? In the future, we'll try to go for a either a bear ruler or a horse ruler. Something along those lines. I mean, I guess it kind of breaks the immersion a little bit, but I really enjoy it because it's funny as hell. But maybe in the future, if we do like a more kind of like role-playing focused playthrough, then perhaps we'll try to stay away from all the crazy shit that happens. I may even turn off absurd events, or would I? I don't know. I like absurd events. I think they add a lot to the story. Yes, immersion breaking for sure, but hilarious nonetheless. So that's it for our dynasty, and I think that's it for our little post-mortem as well. I didn't expect the post-mortem to go on as long as it did, but I always find ways to jibber jabber nonstop. So I apologize if you kind of expecting something a little bit shorter. But that's going to be the final ribbon on the nice little box that is our Qarmatian Uprising. 56 episodes, not too long. I think that's actually one of my shorter episodes, shorter campaigns, if you can believe that, because they typically go on to like episode 70, 80, etc., right? But yeah, I think it helped to have some attainable goals. Initially, we thought about replacing the entire Muslim world with our Qarmatianism, but didn't quite work out. I mean, we could like, extend this campaign even longer and try to replace everything, but that's a lot of stuff to go through, especially with the horse lords up here being Sunni and whatnot. So I think it's just too much trouble for the for what we'd be getting out of it. But yeah, I enjoyed the campaign, and if you want, this is the religious map mode. Just pause the screen whenever you want to examine things in more detail. Sumnusko dominating much of Eastern Europe and Scandinavia now. Catholicism still being strong. Sunnism more to the kind of outskirts of the world, and the cultural map. A lot of that. A lot of Bedouin around our region, obviously. And India still having much of the Indian cultures. I think there's no real surprises with the cultural map mode. At least not in this case. Anglo-Saxon, a lot of the Irish and Scottish culture still there. And Andalusian in the Iberian Peninsula. So yeah, that's that. I think I have a plan for what our next campaign is going to be. I think it's going to be kind of unexpected for a lot of people, except for the people who, voted. But, yeah. So again, if you enjoyed the post-mortem, if you enjoyed the campaign, it really helps when you leave a like on the videos, or leave a comment, or, subscribe, etc., etc. And, if you want to support the channel financially, you can do so via Patreon, or joining the channel as a member. And you get perks like being able to vote on future campaigns or future games that we play, etc., etc. I only mentioned this at the very beginning of the series and the very end. I've already mentioned this in the finale episode, but because this is the post-mortem, I just like to mention it again. So I apologize if I sound like a broken record. But yeah, just you guys spending time with me and watching my videos is pretty awesome. So. Yeah, thank you guys so much for the support. We will be back. So I like to start new series on Fridays. So because this episode is going to go out on a Wednesday, I believe, there'll be a one-day gap in which there's not going to be any CK2, but we'll start again on Friday, I hope, unless there's issues, which I don't foresee. But then again, that's the thing about issues, right? They always happen when you don't expect them. But anyways, that's going to be it for our Qarmatian Uprising campaign. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next campaign. So for now, thank you very much for everything, and have an amazing breakfast.